What Rafael Devers is doing has never been seen before in a Boston Red Sox uniform. Not only is he on fire after a slow start to his season, he's white hot. So we'll break down his dominant stretch of play and much more on this episode of 3 Up, 3 Down. What's up, everybody? I'm your host, Peter Vrionis. Welcome into the second episode of 3 Up, 3 Down, where we're going with one of the hottest players in baseball right now, and that's Rafael Devers. Now, I said he's been doing something that we've never seen before in a Boston Red Sox uniform. He's made history with his performance from last night. 6 home runs in his last 6 games, 6 consecutive games with a home run. And let's not waste any time. Let's take a look at this home run. But before we do that, make sure to hit the subscribe button. We're going to be posting daily content for you. So we'll keep you up to date on everything that you need to know in terms of Major League Baseball. The biggest storylines. But today we're going with arguably the biggest storyline in the circuit, and it's Rafael Devers. So let's take a look at his home run from last night that set a Red Sox record for most consecutive games with a home run. I mean, that was cool. That was really cool. Opposite field shot off of Taj Bradley of the Tampa Bay Rays. So like I said in the intro, 6 home runs in his last 6 games, 6 consecutive for him. And I have him in fantasy, so I'm real happy about his performance lately. He's been carrying my team. But not only did he offer up a great performance in the batter's box, he offered up a great showman experience for the fans in the Trop as well. Let's take a look at the pimp job from last night. Now, it's not quite Jose Bautista-like level against Sam Dyson in the ALCS in 2015, but that was pretty cool. And it's great to see Devers doing well after an injury-riddled start to his season. He struggled a lot. He missed time. He was in and out of the lineup, and he couldn't really get going. The power wasn't really there for him early on in the season. I mean, let's take another look at that pimp job. We got to admire it one more single time from Devers. I love that. I love that aspect of the game. Let's never get rid of the flair that some of these players bring to the field night in, night out. But let's take a look at some of his stats for this season. So this is his baseball reference. He's got a 1.2 WAR. As you can see, not too many at-bats, 141, because he did miss quite a bit of time. So 948 OPS, 161 OPS plus. He's really been tearing the cover off the ball ever since coming back from injury, and people were wondering what's going on with Rafi Devers. Why isn't he performing to the level that we've seen in the past couple of years? Because let's face it, he is one of the more consistent hitters in baseball, but he just wasn't showing that as of late. So these are his numbers right now. 10 home runs in 141 at-bats. Pretty good. It's a pretty good number, and hitting 6 home runs in your last 6 games will help with giving that a little bit of a jolt in that category. But let's take a look at his game log, because that's even more impressive. These are his last 6 games. You can see home runs in his last 6. So Tampa Bay, 2 home runs there, 3 against St. Louis, and then another one against Tampa Bay last night off of Taj Bradley. Very good young starter. So he's been very impressive for the Red Sox. They've been playing okay baseball. They came into the season with not much expectation, but Tyler O'Neill has been playing great for them. Rafi Devers has joined the party as well, and I don't know if they're going to make the playoffs. I don't think they're going to make the playoffs, but having those 2 guys in your lineup doing what they've been doing all season long definitely helps. And the AL East is as competitive as ever. You got the Yankees at the top, who should have won their 7th game in a row last night. Then you got the Baltimore Orioles right behind them. Those are probably going to be the top 2 teams at season's end. Toronto Blue Jays are starting to pick it up right now. The Boston Red Sox have been kind of teetering. They've been consistent, but not overly consistent in their play this season. And then the Tampa Bay Rays. I know that they're struggling. I know that they lost a lot of players in this offseason, but they just find ways to win. And they find ways to scratch, claw, and fight their way to victory. So I know it's been a tough start for them. They're under 500, but still, they're one of the more consistent franchises in the major leagues year in, year out, at least in this decade and in the past 2 decades. So I wouldn't count them out for a second. All right, let me correct myself. Let me give you the full standings of the American League East right now. So the Yankees are 33-16. They're 2 games ahead of the Baltimore Orioles, who are 29-16. They're both playing really good baseball. The Yankees should have won last night against the Mariners. They were up 4-1 or 5-1, and then they ended up blowing it late. Tampa Bay is actually over 500, so I'm kind of discounting how decent they've been to start out this year. Boston is hovering around that 500 mark, 24-24, and then the Toronto Blue Jays, to a lot of people's surprise, they're in last place with a 21-25 record. So the AL East is a gauntlet of a division. It has been for the longest time now, and there's no margin for error. There is no margin for error in that division. So if you want to be in the mix in terms of the playoff race by season's end, you got to play good baseball pretty much all throughout. And all the four top teams in the division have been doing that, especially the Yankees and the Orioles. I think that could be an ALCS matchup in the wings right there. They've been the 2 best teams in the American League by a long shot, and then probably followed by the Cleveland Guardians. But it's a really tough division, and all fans of that division, including myself because I am a Blue Jay fan, we're all wondering, how is Boston going to do? You know, they're not very good. They lost Chris Sale. They don't have too many weapons offensively besides Devers, but Tyler O'Neill has been a revelation for them, and they've gotten contributions up and down that lineup, whether it's from Connor Wong, from Ceddanne Rafaela. Like, they've just been a consistent team, and they've been able to stay in the mix 50 games into the season. Now the big question mark is, can they sustain this? Can Rafael Devers keep putting up MVP type numbers? I think he can. I think he's one of the best hitters in baseball. And let's take a look at his numbers yet again. I mean, we also got to remember that he missed quite a bit of action, and he's doing the majority of his damage in the recent stretch of games that he's had. And with these elite hitters, if they get hot at the plate, it could be wraps. It could be a wrap for the other team. I mean, he's just seeing the ball like it's a beach ball right now. It doesn't matter if you're throwing 100. Rafi Devers is going to punish whatever you're throwing in that strike zone. So it's been great to watch. A little bit less great because I am a Blue Jay fan, but still, I appreciate great players. I appreciate great baseball. And what the Red Sox and Rafi Devers and Tyler O'Neill, Canadian, have been doing, it's just been fantastic to watch. So hopefully they can keep it going. Hopefully the AL East remains a bloodbath from here on out. But that'll wrap it up. Thank you so much for watching this episode of 3 Up, 3 Down. We're going to be back tomorrow with another episode. Let us know what you want to see in the comment section down below. And don't forget to subscribe, because I'm going to be working hard for you guys. I'm going to be uploading daily, sometimes even twice a day, just to make sure that you get your MLB fix and you know what's going on around Major League Baseball. Thank you for watching.